Sorry, guys. My phone was ringing, and as you all know, oh, look, I'm adjusting the camera from the correct side. As you all know, all of my videos are made on my LG G5. That's another goal. That's another goal for this year is I've always wanted one. I would really, really love to have a good camera, and not just for vlogging, not just for this purpose, but just a really good camera to take really good photos. We had in our woods, in our backyard here in our woods, we had the other day a pileated woodpecker. Never sure how to say it. My dad says pileated. Some people say pileated. I'm not really sure. I think the way it's spelled, though, I think it is. I think he's right. I think it is pileated woodpecker. Anyways, for those of you that don't know what one of those is, like my American friends and stuff, I should be looking up here. Hello. They are like Woody Woodpecker on steroids. They're huge. They're, oh gosh, I don't even know. They're the size of like a big raven, a huge crow. I don't know, the size of a seagull. Like they're big. They're a big bird. Anyway, and they have a beautiful, beautiful red cap on the back of their head, and they're like black and white, and they have quite a wingspan. Their wingspan's huge, but they're absolutely beautiful, and they're certainly not like an endangered species or you know, whatever, but it is rare to get the privilege to see one. So back in the spring, we had a pair in a dead tree across the road from our house that we watched for a couple of days that looked like they were probably a mating pair and looked like they were looking for a place to nest. And there was this dead, hollowed out sort of old tree back there in the bush that we thought, oh goody, they're going to nest there, and we're going to like be able to sort of watch from afar and watch this go on, and watch the, you know, see babies eventually. But then they hung around for about 2 days, and then they just kind of disappeared. They found a better spot, I guess. But anyway, so then the other day, just one of them was in our backyard. We're like, oh look, and if you go on my Facebook, you'll see like a 30-second video of the bird, and then he took off. They're pretty quick, and we didn't get much of them. And then 2 days ago, we had a coyote, was like almost literally standing in our backyard. He was just beyond the tree line, and of course at this time of year you can see right all the way down to our wedding gazebo back there, so right to the back of our property line, just standing there in broad daylight. And my husband and I were sitting here, and he was sitting on the love seat facing the patio doors, and he said, oh my god, look at that. And then he kind of did a double take because he thought it was someone's dog, and he's like, holy, that's a coyote. And we were like, I was like, what? And we both kind of were fumbling to grab our phones and get our cameras turned on. And I guess he probably was looking at the house, and he probably saw all this flurry of movement going on like near the window, and it freaked him out, and he turned tail and ran down into the woods, down over the hill, and gone into the trees, disappeared into the bush. So unfortunately we didn't get any video or photos of him, but he was quite close. And at the moment, we're petless, which is kind of a good thing, because if you've got a coyote hanging around, not a good thing. My daughter's cat, probably 10 years ago, we think that's what happened to Callie, because there was a coyote. This was at our house down right in the village. Again, broad daylight, I was out walking the dog, and there was a coyote standing right in front of our house. And then the very next day, my daughter's cat went missing, and despite her weeks-long attempt of, she put pictures up, posters everywhere, knocked on every flippin' door in the village in tears, begging anybody to, like, you know, can you check your garage, check your garden shed, check, you know, maybe she got in somewhere, got locked in somewhere somehow. We never found her. I drove around all over the place, like looking, you know, had she been hit on the road or something. Never saw hide in her hair ever again. No trace of her. So we really kind of think that maybe that coyote might have gotten her. So they are rather famous for that. They like pets. Yeah. But anyway, yeah, I would to have a decent camera to take pictures of, well, obviously wildlife and outdoor scenes are my thing. And if my husband and I do manage to do any traveling or anything this year, that remains to be seen. But if we can do any, anything like that at all this year, I'd like to have a really good camera to be able to do that with. Where was I going? Yeah, so this is our year to try to start looking forward, because it's been 3 years, almost, it'll be 3 years in May, of being caught in this, just in this endless round and around and around and around. And the further around you go, circling the bowl, the further around you go, the deeper you go. And it's been really tough. It's, like I say, it's been a hella almost 3 years. So hopefully this is our year to start putting all of our bad experiences behind us and move on with some more positive things. So getting back to the vegan thing. So I would like to start making, as a lot of vegans do on YouTube, I would like to start making some what I eat in a day videos, what shake powder I use, what, you know what I mean, that kind of thing. Just getting more into, this is Kelly the Vegan, this is what I do. Maybe once I get back into my yoga, I'll lose a couple of pounds, like 20. I've gained 20 pounds since I've been off work, and I hate it. And it doesn't seem, no matter what I do, I mean, I've been living a full vegan diet, for, like I said, since the beginning of last summer, and I haven't lost any weight. A lot of it is to do with a lot of medications that I'm on, do cause weight gain. I think I've discussed this before, how the perfect storm of the accident and me becoming, completely sedentary. I mean, I could barely walk for the longest while after. So the accident and becoming, inactive from being a person who was like constantly running and doing and busy and, going through menopause, quitting smoking, and medications. All of this, I mean, and this is medications like from a person who used to have, as I said before, a bottle of Tylenol rattling around somewhere in the bottom of my purse in case I got a headache at work. That was all the medications I ever took, ever. I didn't even really take any vitamins, which is bad. I should have, but anyway. So the combination of these 4 things all came together in the span of 1 year, under 1 year, created the perfect storm for me to gain weight. And I guess I'm lucky. I mean, I quit smoking and I did only gain 20 pounds. And I know a lot of people who quit smoking and gained, 50 pounds, 80 pounds, people who just like blew right up, right? And it does have a lot to do with the fact that nicotine and a lot of the other carcinogens that are in cigarettes are, I don't want to say an upper, what is the word I'm looking for? Like a stimulant, I guess, and an appetite suppressant, and it makes your metabolism faster. And it's true, it is true. People who smoke have a faster metabolism. And less interest in food, because you don't taste food as well, as you do when you're a non-smoker. And I mean, when I was a smoker, I would much rather have gone and had a cigarette than eaten something. So yeah, all this together, and I've gained 20 pounds, and I need to get this 20 pounds off my fat ass. Like, I don't like it at all. Not at all. Like, I know I'm not big, but I'm not, I used to be a lot smaller than I am now. Just that 20 pounds. I can still wear all of my clothing that I wore then. It's still pretty much, except for a couple pairs of jeans, still pretty much everything still fits. So, but yeah, I'm not happy with that. So hopefully getting rid of that, and that goes obviously into, the whole health thing. My husband working on his health as well, and his level of fitness, so to speak. And again, I mean, being a stroke survivor, he is limited as to what he can do in terms of exercise. Also because he has chronic asthma and COPD. For those of you out there who smoke, take note. My husband quit smoking probably It's over 25 years ago. It's a long, long time ago. And about 4 or 5 years ago, he was having some problems with his asthma. Seemed to be, look, I did it from the right side again. His asthma seemed to be getting a bit worse. He seemed to notice like more frequent shortness of breath, and that he was becoming short of breath more easily than he normally would. I know I'm not looking in the right spot. Hello. So his doctor sent him to a respirologist, who then immediately diagnosed him with COPD. And I could have told you that because he does the pursed lip breathing. When he does anything that requires any type of effort, when he exhales, he does that pursed lipped breathing, which is a really big indicator of somebody having COPD, because with COPD you can get the oxygen into your lungs, but it's really hard to get the carbon dioxide back out of your lungs, right? So that's why you have to sort of forcefully force it out, right? So take note, even though he quit smoking nearly 3 decades ago, he was diagnosed with COPD, and he said to the respirologist, he said, but I don't smoke, and I haven't smoked in years and years. And he said, yeah, but you used to. So even that many years later, and my dad has also been diagnosed with COPD, and a while back now, but my dad quit smoking when he had the heart attacks that led to his quad bypass in 2000. Remember Y2K, when the whole world was supposed to crash and we all ran to the bank and got our money out in case all the systems crashed? None of Y2K happened. The systems did not crash. My dad crashed. That was, he had 2 heart attacks, and basically in one day, I think, and was airlifted to Sudbury and had quad bypass. So he quit smoking then, obviously, and hasn't smoked since. So it's been 18 years, over 18 years since he quit smoking, and he has COPD as well. So even if you quit, you could, I mean, I at some point could end up being diagnosed with COPD, because I was a smoker, and I was a smoker from the time I was, 13, 14 years old. I quit once for a year. My grandmother passed away. I started smoking at her funeral, and then carried on smoking until I quit. It was 2 years in November, just passed. So yeah, I was a heavy smoker, definitely a heavy smoker. So, like a pack and a half a day. Not gonna lie. So yeah, where was I going with this? My husband's fitness level. So yeah, he is quite limited in as to what he can do because of the strokes and because of his respiratory issues. So he's certainly not somebody who could be running on a treadmill or going outside and running. He can walk, but he gets numbness in his legs. That's some post-stroke stuff. And as long as we're walking at well, I'm talking about when the weather was nice and we could walk, as long as we're walking at a reasonably leisurely pace, I mean, you're not just meandering along, but you're not speed walking either, he's okay that way. But step it up even a tiny bit, and now he can't talk while he's walking because he can't breathe. So anyway, he's limited as to what he can do as well. So, you know, we're going to have to work within our limitations. Everybody has limitations. I don't care who you are. I don't care if you're Arnold Schwarzenegger. I'm sure that Mr. Schwarzenegger has limits too. Not sure what those would be, but I'm sure he has limitations as well. So don't we all, because we're, you know, human. So anyway, yeah, so hopefully start posting some more positive stuff now. I've told the dirty, sordid story of all the bad stuff that's happened, and that's the only way. I had to tell you guys our story. I had to let you know who we were before all of this. We were a lot of fun. We were a lot of fun. We were happy people. We had a beautiful life, wonderful jobs that we both absolutely loved. My husband had been at his job in a month after his strokes. It would have been 30 years at the same job that he loved. And for me, you know, I've been at my career since, you know, for over 20. So, yeah. So I had to tell you guys all that stuff in order for you to understand why we are the people we are today, and why we're, there goes this hand now, why we are the people we are today, and how we got here to be this person who's sitting in this one little spot on the couch that's like, I've got this little corner of the couch wore out. I'm not even kidding you. The cushions are starting to sag because my ass has been sitting here for like almost 3 years. So this is how we got to where we are today. So now it's time to start looking forward, start thinking more positively, and start working bit by bit on our wellness. And by wellness, I mean, I don't just mean physical wellness. I mean mental and emotional wellness, financial wellness, just wellness of all types. And try to have, sorry guys, try to have a bit of a healthier life. See, I lose sensation in my hands all the time. And I do these weird spastic movements with my hands that I have to do to get they go stiff and my tendons kind of lock up, and I have to like shake my hand and shake, and I'm probably damaging my wrists by doing this because sometimes I flick them really hard, but I have to. Or I have to like put my hand on a flat surface and push. Oh, that hurt my neck. Okay, wrong flat surface. But yeah, it'll go away in a sec. Anyway, yeah, so it's time to start being more positive and working towards that. And it's not easy. It's not easy. And I should also say here, last week we lost another family member. So we have a funeral to go to this Thursday, and I don't think I'm ready for this at all. I'm not going to say any names here, but anyone who knows me personally will know who I'm talking about. This woman was my ex-husband's ex now, but my ex-husband was with her for, gosh, 7 or 8 years maybe, when the kids were really small. Like my ex-husband and I split up, our daughter was like 4, so something, very young, very, very young. But anyway, he was with this other lady for quite a number of years, and there was a lot of co-parenting went on there. She and I didn't get along at all at first, and then we got to know each other, and we got to become actually very, very, very good friends. And she and my ex-husband split up. Gosh, now let me see. My daughter was still in high school, so we're looking at 7 years ago, maybe, or so, 6 years ago. Anyway, both my daughter and I had stayed very, very close to her. She, she's on her Facebook. We talked to her. My daughter still calls her Mama, which was, I'm Mom, and she was Mama, right? Because she was her stepmom, right? And she adored my kids, and she and my daughter had a very, very special bond. And she and I had a very close bond and a very good friendship. And she was a heart transplant recipient in 2007. So the transplant gave her almost 11 years of extra time, of extra life that she never would have had did she not have the transplant done. She had it done in March of 2007. And so in this March, it would have been 11 years. It gave her time to see a grandchild born, and for her to have that, to experience that, and now I'm getting weepy. And I'm so grateful that she got that. So, even though she was a transplant recipient, and there's been the ups and downs. Let me tell you. I mean, if you're an organ transplant recipient, any organ, there's always the risk of rejection. You're on anti-rejection drugs for the rest of your life. She's had some scary moments where they thought she was rejecting, and she's had some pretty scary stuff happen. But for the most part, she has enjoyed a reasonably, good, healthy life. And as I say, live long enough to have a grandchild, who is, thank God, well, I think he's close to 7 now almost. And I please God that he remembers her when he's an adult, and she's not just a face in a picture frame. Please God that he has memories of her when he's older. That's all I really want. for him and for her. So she was quite sudden, quite unexpected. To the best of my knowledge, there was really nothing going on with her. Not that I'm aware of. I spoke to her at Christmas. She was doing great. Yeah, and was just found deceased. So very shocking, and came out of nowhere, and my daughter's just in pieces, and as you can see, I'm fighting tears here. So we are going to be going to her funeral on Thursday, and I'm not really sure if I'm ready for this. Really not, but yeah, just keeps coming, people. Just keeps coming, and for every person that you love that you lose, it makes you feel more appreciative of the fact that you still have life. And as long as you're still alive, and as long as you're still breathing in and out, you have the opportunity to change things. If things are not good in your life, if you're not happy with your job or your career, you're not happy with the person that you're with, if you're not happy with your home, if you're whatever part of your life is not working so good for you, you can change it. You can change it. All you got to do is change it. Work on it. Do it. Just do it. Just change it. Just, you know, if you're in an unhappy relationship or an unhealthy relationship, walk out. Walk out. Every house has a door in it or a window. Climb out of a window. Whatever you got to do. Get out of it. Get out. Walk away. Right? If there's kids involved, well, that's always sad. It's terrible. You know, you hate to see that. And I mean, I went through that. I had 3 small kids when my husband and I split up, my first husband. But you know, if you're in an unhealthy relationship, get out. If you're in a career or just have a shit-ass job that you hate, go back to school. Just even if part-time, do so many courses now are available online. You can go to night school, you can whatever, you can change your life. You can get, instead of having a job, you can have a career. So instead of when someone says to you, so what do you do for a living? You can say, I'm and follow it by nurse, I don't know, massage therapist, physiotherapist, computer tech, whatever floats your boat. Not, oh, I work at, and then you name some fast food restaurant or something that you're completely unhappy about. So yeah, if you're still living and breathing, you've got the opportunity to change things. So thank God my husband and I are both still living and breathing. Young Charles here has not done anything funky yet, being the key word in the sentence. So as far as I know, he's still just sitting there quietly being Charlie. So we have the opportunity to change things, and I really, now's the time to, you know, we're still young enough. We're only in our 50s. I'm, like I said, 53. He is 56, and we still have time to you know, try to do some of the things that we want to do, and try to change things, and try to make more positive choices in our life. Anyway, I guess that's about it for today, guys. Do leave some comments down below, anything that you want to say. If you want to comment on the makeup or skincare thing for mature aging sounds so awful, mature skin. If you want to see me do something like that, let me know. Again, it would have to be like, you know, drugstore stuff, because, you know, mama ain't got the coin to be going to Sephora, you know what I'm saying? Any comments, any questions, anything, please feel free to comment away. Don't forget to subscribe. Don't forget to subscribe. Blah, spit it out. Don't forget to hit that little red subscribe button down there. Hit the little bell icon so you get notified every time I post. And give this video and all of my videos a thumbs up. And I love ya, and I will see you very, very soon. Going to start vlogging again on a regular basis. Okay? Love you all so much, and we'll see you soon. Mwah.